Hello, I'm Dr. Blair. I'm a cannabidiol consultant internationally, and I have been speaking with many patients about cannabidiol and trying to help them with guidance clinically on how they can use CBD to really make a difference in their lives and in their families' lives, as well as their clients. So I have with me today Amy from Texas, and she's got some experiences with CBD that I'd like to have her tell you about. So, Amy, tell us a little bit about what kind of problems that you and your family were experiencing before you started using CBD.
I think the biggest reasons why I was actually really attracted to CBD was because of my son. My son at the time was 17 years old. I had been doing research on CBD prior to kind of some things coming to light, but he would have issues with anger. So he would have these emotional outbursts. And so there came a point where something had to be done. And so I finally just said, you know what, I'm going to get the CBD. I'm going to try it and see what happens. And so that was the start of our life with CBD.
And then how did you learn about CBD? I mean, what brought you to that point where you were very interested and saw a possibility?
Well, you know, it all started with the little videos on YouTube or on Facebook that you would see these kids getting CBD during a seizure, and their seizures would stop. There was also a video with a guy who had Parkinson's, and he had taken the CBD and his tremors were almost completely gone. So I had been learning about it probably for about 2 years prior to this. So I had done a little bit of research here and there. Really didn't get into a bulk of the research and probably till about December of 2017 is when I really started diving into CBD.
What happened after you started using CBD for your son?
So in about it took about 2 weeks. So I started giving my son full spectrum capsules. And after about 2 weeks, my husband would come home and I remember this one day he came home, he goes, Amy, he goes, what did you do with our kid? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. All I did was the CBD. He's like, do you really think this is the CBD that's making him be better? And I said, I haven't done anything else. And so it was really an amazing time for us because I had worked in the medical industry, so I kind of always took everything from a clinical point of view. So just watching somebody who couldn't really control his emotions or was just really sensitive to his environment and to what we would say as parents, just all of a sudden be just calm and able to focus, and somebody who was really able to keep his emotions under control.
And over time, what kind of changes did you see? Did you see any other changes in his physiology and his behavior? Any other things that you may have noticed?
Yes, I mean, I think one of the issues that he had was probably a little social anxiety as well. And so since then, he's gotten a full-time job. He loves to work. He loves to talk with people. So there's definitely a lot of social changes that have happened as well. I think he's just definitely more open to people and want to have a relationship with people. So there are definitely positive changes that we see from our side.
And so that was your experience with your son.
Yeah.
And then did that kind of carry over into other family members?
It did. So I think probably about a week after he was on the CBD, I said, you know what, I'm going to try it for myself. I didn't know at the time what I was going to be taking it for because I did read, you know, it can help with certain conditions or support these different areas of your body. And I really didn't know. I wasn't thinking about myself. I was really just thinking about my son and what I could do for him. So when I started taking it, I had suffered from IBS-C for a very long time. I had gone to a gastroenterologist. They would always put me on medications, and I would just never have been a big pharmaceutical girl. So that alleviated itself within 2 days. And so I, at that time, didn't think about, oh, it's a CBD. I'm just thinking, thank God I have some relief. So after about 2 weeks after that, it was, I mean, I've been on CBD now for maybe 20 months or so, and that has never come back. I mean, I have
I
just been.
think that you had told me, we had talked earlier, and that you had stopped CBD. And
I
when you
did.
stopped CBD, then you had a return of some of your symptoms.
Yeah,
So you recognized CBD was really providing some superb benefits.
absolutely, because one of the other issues was anxiety. So even as a high school kid, I would have um, anxiety issues. Was even, I left school one day because I had a panic attack. Um, and so I had known I had anxiety issues, but I never thought they were bad until, and that was, I think, the biggest aha moment for me is I was taking a CBD and I did stop. I stopped about 2 weeks. I was like, oh, well, I don't really feel any different on the CBD. So let's see what happens. And so I stopped taking it, and about 4 to 5 days later, um, I just didn't feel good anymore. And I think that was really it for me, is because I don't think for years, all through my 30s, beginning of my 40s, I did not feel normal. I never felt good. I just always felt sick. And I think this was the first time in my life I had ever really just felt like a normal human being.
Well, those are terrific stories. But what do you see going forward using CBD? How will that change the trajectory of your life and your son's life in the distant future?
Well, it's definitely supportive, and I think I see that, especially with, I have osteoarthritis as well. So I know that when I don't take it after a few days, I feel the pain in my hands coming back. So I definitely see this as something that I will continue on for probably forever, as well as my son, because it's just been so supportive to me. It's been supportive to him. I think it actually makes me a better person. I noticed is that when I'm trying to say something, a lot of times my mouth catches up with me in a normal amount of time, versus before I would really stumble over words because my brain knew what I wanted to say, but my mouth just wasn't going there.
That is so cool. And I would agree that it makes you more fluent as well as more social, and it reduces the anxiety that people have around them so that they're able to perform better. So you really see this as something that is going to benefit the whole family, and not being something exceptional, but just being the best that you can be.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Amy, for talking with me